Hi, I'm Holly, but you may know me better as the world's best LEGO army builder, more specifically, LEGO Star Wars army builder, with my grand total of just over 2 32 by 32 base plates. My army has been coming along swimmingly over the last couple of months. Now, earning such a title as well is a really tough task, and honestly, I don't know how I did it, but mostly I would put it down to the fact that I gave a very detailed and comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to build your own army, and most people took my advice like they should have, and then there was a couple of people who were just like really mean.
Do not do this.
And like fought back.
Everybody's doing it wrong.
And clearly know nothing about what they're talking about. Though in saying that, I did take one piece of advice, and that was to put minifigures in front of my groups. I guess I'll do that. But as a self-proclaimed addict to buying multiples of sets that I already own and voted the #1 army builder for LEGO, don't look that up, I thought it would be fun to take a look at various different types of armies, specifically I guess like clone armies as well, that other people have made. One, because I would love to see people's creations, but two, I am obviously the most knowledgeable in this area, so I thought I would rate and just comment on everyone's and see how many people really took the advice of army building and understood the concept entirely. But before we go and dive into everyone else's clone armies, I feel like I should give you an update because I have definitely bought more clone packs, some couple of Republic fighter tanks, and a few pieces here and there, and it's just, basically it's become a worse problem than it already was, so really we're not doing well. I know you guys are all jealous of my army because it's like the biggest and best thing you've ever seen. I know, it's okay. Now, army building overall is a lot of fun. It's very therapeutic, and you know, a lot of people really followed the step-by-step basis, as I told you guys to post your photos to me on Reddit and also a couple of them on Discord. So let's go and have a look at what people's armies are like. Okay, so our first army is actually a LEGO Ninjago army and is a Nin Droid Army. And firstly, I would like to say, you know, just like mine and my expansion of armies, we've got a couple of vehicles. However, the minifigures are actually like in interesting formations, which I feel like you have to lose points on. We want really basic formations. We can't have this real creativity and nice looking formations going on here. I want basic. This one looks appealing. We've got some just stock standard, really basic lines. Interesting that we've gone horizontal instead of like vertical and horizontal lines for grouping clones. Gonna have to take bonus points off that because that's not what I do and therefore it's wrong. We've got some droids in the back there. We've got an entire army of R2-D2s as well, which props to you for that. I really like the look of this one because of how clean it is. This one right here, the 501st Droid Army, honestly, really small. It's almost like there's just like no one there, and really, I'm sorry, but this is pathetic. Like, you've really got to step your game up. Like, there's just so much empty space on those base plates. Like, just look at that. It's depressing. Why are there so little clones? I'm sorry, it's not cutting it. But, you know, the room decor looks lovely. So I'll give you that. Needs a lot of work. It's like, come on. Ooh, we have some minifigures standing out the front, which, you know, I will give it to them. That is some advice that I guess I like had to take from other people. Does work out really well, especially the pumpkin dude. I think he really deserves his spot there. Personally, because of the crossover, I feel like I would have to give this a lower score if I was to rank it, just because there is so much mingling. No, we want everything to be incredibly segregated. Thanks to this post, we now know why there's such a really stark shortage of Hoth Rebel packs that you just cannot find anywhere, that are like always out of stock on LEGO Shop at Home. That's exactly why. It's because someone's building their Hoth army, which, like, look, fair. Army building's a lot of fun. I get why you would have a spiral of Hoth packs, but really, dude, save some for the rest of us. So rude. Big zero on this one. This is too nicely displayed. It's not basic and boring enough. How dare you put your clones in a really beautiful mock? That just defeats the whole purpose. Sorry. This one is an absolute flex. There are 2 Republic fighter tanks worth of clones in here and a Captain Rex too. However, I think as an overall, it has to have a really big 0. Where is the base plate? Someone really didn't follow step 1 of the tutorial. Finally, someone with taste. My army from the Doctor Who ideas set. Oh, finally. I mean, 10 out of 10 for this. No, not even that. Let's say 12. What Doctor are we up to? 13, 14? Out of 10. This army though, I think is the absolute best by far. All of the steps were followed in this one. I absolutely love the dedication to the craft here, just with this entire army. Look at that excellent form. We got a bunch of Mandalorians from Mateo, who was very vocal about how bad I did with my army, which clearly Mateo doesn't know anything. Yeah, Mateo, your army, you suck. It sucks. It's not like Pre-Vizsla is a really expensive minifigure. There is a total flex that I really, really want. So, I was really digging this army until, we showed creativity in our display. It's not allowed. We want the most bland and boring and lifeless displays. This is too creative. Okay, the Ninjago fans are really coming out in droves here with their armies. This is not fair. Why did Ninjago get to army build things and have fun? Look at these straight lines. It's almost like a bar graph, but like laid out on a base plate. I'm all for this. You can tell as well. See, we're being smart. We've run out of space, so we're gonna put the Tusken Raiders behind the Kashyyyk battle droids. That is some real smart planning moves. Sometimes you gotta merge a few categories in order for it to be good, and I do appreciate that here. Oh, we have some custom figures. Oh my gosh, no, you can never merge. Ooh, sequels army, sequels army. 12 out of 10 clone army. This is perfect. I'm starting to realize why there are very limited Captain Rexes for sale, and it's because everyone seems to already have one except me. Oh no, I take that all back. We have the perfect clone army thumbnail. We have an entire table full of base plates. Oh my gosh. And we have a bunch of dewbacks that are all also army build. This is satisfying. Again, with the horizontal lines of troopers, it's not something that I really considered or thought much of, and I'm kind of against, but it also does kind of work, so I can't be mad. So I'm gonna be mad at the fact that these are on plates instead of base plates. Star Wars armies, I'm giving this one bonus points because there's a minion in the background and because of the slightly chaotic yet organized layout, and we're on base plates. Again, someone is listening to the instructions. There's a reason I gave people instructions. It'd be really nice if more people like this could follow those instructions. It just looks so much nicer. My mini armies, no. These are substantial armies. There is at least 4 501st battle packs, so that is a really good substantial amount. And honestly, I have to commend you because someone here, unlike myself and many other people, has shown resilience when it comes to spending and their budgeting. It's just something that I don't do, and it probably, isn't recognized very much in army building. However, I will recognize it today. This was about to be the #1 army, except again, we're missing a base plate. Is it really that hard, everyone? For a theme that has a lot of armies, I'm genuinely surprised that it's our first castle army, and they are the Black Falcons. And look at all of the variety. Look, in clones, for the most part, I want everything to be very basic and lined up and really neat. When it comes to castle armies, complete opposite. The more details and the more animals and flags and variety and different accessories and weapons and styling, the better. If you've got a mixture of that and like boring basic knights, I am on board. And this army has precisely that. We've even got a bold guy. Shout out to him. For a New Zealand army, a country that, like Australia, gets no stock ever. This is a very, very impressive 501st Army. Firstly, props to you for using a base plate. Secondly, I love the basic lines. I love the fact that as well there you have not wasted a single soldier, and we have put our really, really bad and probably very expensive misprint at the front, and a beautiful clone army angle. Oh, this is beautiful. Except, wait, no, there's a helmet that's slightly twisted and is looking at me. Army building is addictive but so much fun, and I entirely agree, and that is the whole purpose of me making this video. These guys are posed. It's too creative, again. However, we are saved by the Black Falcons. There is enough variation there with a bunch of different knight hats, and we've got some with shields, some without, and everyone is in a straight line. This is great. Oh my gosh, even the red knights. And then we came to ruin it with some more posed clones. These would have looked so good just stacked in straight lines, the way you are supposed to do things. We have another growing army coming along, this time with an exclusive figure, Jedi Scooby-Doo. I absolutely love that. We've got our droids on opposite sides. We've got some symmetry going. We just didn't follow step one, which is get a base plate. Again, this would have been utmost perfection if this one actually had a base plate. Everyone is staring right into my soul and I feel very intimidated. That being said, the fact that there is matching vehicles and attack battalions, this is the ultimate clone army. I think my position as best army builder may have just been overtaken. I want to fault this one so bad because it's just too nice, but everything is lined up in really straight lines while also being in a really nice display. What a lovely diorama. It's a shame that it is not on a base plate. Wait, no, hold on. Is that the Palace Cinema base plate being used? I take back everything that I've said. This is one of the biggest flexes of a clone army so far. Not even because of the amount of clones. There are a substantial amount. Damn. Haven't bought it in 2 years edition. We love someone who has fallen out of the clone army. Honestly, I'm quite jealous because I'm spending far too much money on buying multiples of things. Yes, another beginner clone army. We've got some beginner base plates, which is really nice. We've got a lot of straight lines, a couple of leaders. This is really looking like a very strong start. I mean, it's just a shame that your army is so small, because, you know, this would be amazing if it had really large quantities and a really large variety. So Reddit was looking pretty strong. So if we move over to Discord, hopefully people have taken my advice, and apparently not, because already we're on track to disappointment by not having a base plate. There has very strict rules in place. This next army is absolutely just unstoppable. Like no one is going to be able to get to the level of this, except it would look much better on a base plate. We have another first order army, which I love to see because I don't have any of my own, which means automatically everyone is doing better than me. But we've got some straight lines, but it also in different grouped formations, no triangles, which again is amazing, and a base plate. This is a good one. The Droid Army, ooh, no base plate, 0 out of 10. We're going back to the realm of creativity, which I don't like. I don't want creativity, I want plainness, because we have a corn cob leader, and we also have C-3PO in a really nice drip. I know I said you have to have a base plate, but however, that can be swapped out in cases like this where you want to make the droids the candles. I love this. Technically as well, it does follow the clone army rules of building in straight lines. I know it's horizontal, but again, it also technically is vertical, but it's like also off center, but then also has vehicles. This is nice. And then we've got multiple angles. This is taking all of the right points and pieces from my rule book and applying them, and not in the way that I wanted or expected, but I like this one. These triangles are killing me, but there's a Sabine helmet, so it's a flex, so you do have to gain points for this, as much as I wanted to give you a 0, especially because some of it's blurry because of how cameras and depth of field work. Now I know I'm like really down to earth, especially when it comes to my army building, but I am in this one. So I feel like for the first time in my life, and especially the first time, you know, when it comes to army building, I'm really just gonna turn away from being humble and say that this one is the best because I'm in it. This is exactly what I wanted. Straight lines, nice and easy, nice and even, nice and divided. You've got little sections, you have lines going vertically, but then because you've got sections, you only go 4 across, and you have nice even numbers. This is exactly how I lay out my clone army. This is exactly what I was trying to get across in all of my rules and all of the rule books, and this is exactly how you should be doing it. It should be very plain, very basic. I should be able to stack multiples of these base plates on top of each other because of how perfectly they are laid out. You know, someone else that really follows the guidelines of army building is my friend Sans, who is kindly going to grace us with a lot of variety. And I know I complained about having variety, and now I'm going to praise having variety, but just look at these lines. These figures are laid out really beautifully. There are no triangles. Things are on a base plate, and we're getting a wide variety of angles. Admittedly, this is a video and not a photo, but everything is laid out beautifully. Sans, please take it away and show me your army.
So starting off with the worst army that no one likes is the Confederacy of Independent States, or the Separatists, or whatever they are. I don't know, I don't care. This isn't all of them, and this is going to be a reoccurring trend that you hear. This isn't all of them. But the only time you're not going to hear me say this is for the First Order, because other than, no, except Finn's not here, never mind, this is not all of them, plus Kylo Ren. So yeah, see, not all of them, but, you know, that looks cool. Too bad no one likes the First Order, but you know what people do like? Empire. I'm missing 10-ish clone or stormtroopers, and Darth Vader's are gone, so whatever. The one people actually care about, clones. I don't have a lot on this base plate. It is more than most, but it's not that many. I don't have any of the 501st in here. I'm just now realizing it, but it's too late. I already started recording. But what looks cooler than that is the medieval armies. This is a ton of different factions put together. Not even all of them are human. Like all those orcs, those aren't human. Those definitely aren't human. Forestmen, lions, tigers, bears, falcons, and there's some undead people there, the undead army, blue Black Falcons, horses, rides for other teams. Oh, well, horses go with these. These go here, these go here, and this is a bag of random stuff that needs to be cleaned, but that also counts. But for my final army, I wanted to try something a little bit different, and everybody, or at least most people, should be familiar with this Jack Stone figure here. And now, while one is not that impressive, actually, most people would say it's complete garbage, but we have to have a baseline. So I did a little bit of buying, and I made a little bit of a small force. And just enough to have, maybe to pass out, or just like a backup. But I didn't know if that would be enough, so I kind of, like, this probably isn't enough just right here. So I went a little bit deeper and did some soul searching and decided maybe just a few more would be helpful for everybody. But again, what's the real hard limit here? Because this might not be enough. However, we could always consider real army building here. Now, Holly, when you think of army building, do you think of a bunch of stupid, silly clones and battle droids and knights, or do you think of over 100 blue Jack Stones?
Honestly, everything that I have ever said in either of these army videos, is just complete garbage. It is making fun of the hobby of army building, because at the end of the day, any figures that you collect, it doesn't matter how you put them up on display. It is just fun to have multiples of minifigures standing side by side or standing in a group and just having a ton of them all at once, even if they're all in a giant Ziploc bag. Now, while I was voted the best army builder for LEGO, my tactics, as we all know, are very basic. It is very straightforward. I just want to see minifigures side by side, exactly like these Jack Stone figures, because to me, it's just incredibly satisfying. But when it comes to army building, honestly, you're not going to get much better than the person who inspires you to get started with army building in the first place. And they really came in clutch today and showed entirely all of us up, and also taught me how to army build properly by shaming me and my army, just like I did to all of you. And that is Shy Time Is My Time, who has the largest army that I have ever seen, and is entirely made up of castle figures, and everyone has flags and different accessories and different faces and different capes, and he has a bunch of custom parts and animals. And this inspired me to start my clone trooper army, which seems kind of twisted in a way, considering, you know, Shy's a very big castle army builder, and I just really want to have a base plate full of battle droids and a couple of clones here and there, but really, like, the battle droids are my favorite. So, I mean, how that would make sense, you know, you tell me. But after hearing Shy talk about his multiples of Black Falcons and constantly asking people to go and find them, and I still haven't found them for him, I had to get into it myself. And there is no way I'm ever going to have an army as cool as his, because he can actually accessorize, whereas clone troopers, you kind of just have to stand them there unless you have a vehicle. But this also goes to show that no matter how many angles I ever use, I will never be able to convince anyone that I have an army as big of this. And quite frankly, I don't want an army as big as this, because just judging by what Shy was telling me, it took him several days to set up, and then his wife got mad at him for setting it up and told him to take it all down. So those are all of the clone armies, and in all seriousness, I wanted to make this video just because I had a lot of fun with that other clone army video. I think it honestly has to be my favorite video that I've ever made. It was a lot of fun. I got to poke fun at myself. I got to poke fun at the LEGO Star Wars community. I got to poke fun at the army building community, even though it is a lot of fun for me. I get a lot of satisfaction out of just seeing all all of my clones and all of my troopers and even just all of my minifigures lined up in general. And it was so awesome to be able to see a bunch of different people's collections and armies and displays and mocks. This entire video was filled with a lot of sarcasm, so much so that you probably got annoyed with me and just found me incredibly irritating throughout it. But I had a lot of fun just going through people's collections. It was so awesome just for people to pull out like all of the things that they have and just showcase them. I love seeing everyone's collection. The amount of Phase 2 Captain Rexes that people have is incredible. I did not expect to see so many of them. Overall, this video was a lot of fun and I loved seeing everyone's collection. So thank you so much to my friends and to everyone who posted and shared their collections and their armies with me. It was so much fun to go through them all. And yeah, I thought I would give you a little clone update to my collection. It is growing, but I also am trying to refrain on myself. I feel like I'm done with Phase 1 clones. I'm definitely done with my snowtroopers and 501st as well. I think I'll just maybe get a couple of 330 seconds if I can get some with a good deal. I definitely want to get myself some true 12th troopers and at least have an even amount, and hopefully some more 180 seconds as well, because I love that purple. It looks so good. So if you want to learn the basics of clone army building, I will leave that video linked at the end screen here. And if you enjoyed this video and seeing all of these people's collections, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. Have fun with your Lego and collect it and display it the way you want. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.